Hello everybody, Root Beer here with more of the 2001 Fermat paper. That's the grade 11 contest. We're up to question number 10, which is the last question in part A, the last question that's worth 5 points, and it gets us sort of ready for part B, which is going to be worth 6 points apiece. Okay, so let's take a look at question number 10. When a positive integer n is divided by 60, the remainder is 49. When n is divided by 15, the remainder is, okay. So there's a couple ways you could go about doing this question. The quick way would be to realize, hey, 15, 60, hey, 60 is a multiple of 15. So when I divide n by 60, I'm really dividing it by 15. I'm just making my remainder a little bigger. So I can actually figure out the answer to this just by figuring out the remainder of 49 when we divide it by 15. And that really quickly gets us the answer of c equals 4. Okay? But suppose we weren't ready to do that in our heads, or we didn't realize it. That's okay. Let's try and do this in a little more roundabout way. We'll still need to realize that 15 is a factor of 60, but we'll be able to write it out, and maybe the math will make a little more sense to those of us who didn't catch that the first time. Okay? So what does it mean for n to divide by 60 and leave a remainder of 49? Well, we have to go back to sort of what does the definition of division mean. It basically means we can find an integer. We can call it k because we don't know exactly what his value will be. So that n is 60k plus 49. That's what it means to leave a remainder of 49 when you divide by 60. That's what it actually means. Okay? Now if we were to divide by 15, so let's call the remainder when we divide by 15 r. We call that 15x plus r for some integer x. Okay, we don't know what x is, we don't know what k is. We have none of this information. Okay? But we have two expressions for n. Whenever I see two expressions for the same thing, I often like to equate them. Just an instinct you pick up. So 15x plus r is the same as 60k plus 49. And at this point, we need to realize that 60 is a multiple of 15. Okay, 60 is 4 times. Well, we'll use the dot so we don't get confused with the x we have. 4 times 15. So let's bring everything that is a multiple of 15 over to one side. Okay. 60k minus 15. We'll do it the other way. 15x minus 60k is equal to 49 minus r. Okay? Well, we got a factor of 15 over here. So x minus 4k is 49 minus r. So 15 needs to divide 49 minus r. Okay? We have a factor of 15 over on this side, so that means that this expression over here, which is an integer, must have a factor of 15. Okay? So 49 minus r, that's got to be a multiple of 15. But r, because it's a remainder, it's got to be less than the number we divided by, so it's got to be less than 15. And what we can do is we can check. Well, 49 minus 0 is 49, not divisible by 15. How about 49 minus 1? That's 48. No, we're getting closer though. 49 minus 2. No. The next one will also be no. 49 minus 4. It's 45, and that's definitely divisible by 15. So that should be the remainder, and as I already remarked, that is answer C. Okay? Now there's another way you can do this question. Okay, if you didn't see right away that 60 is a multiple of 15, and so we just really need to figure out the remainder of 49 when we divide it by 15. And if you didn't want to go all through this and do the definition, you could have done it another way. You could have said, well, we're looking for a number that when we divide it by 60 gives a remainder of 49. Well, we could have just said, well, 49 fits the bill. Right? When we read the question, a number that leaves a remainder of 49 when we divide by 60, that's really vague. A lot of numbers fit that, so why don't we just pick one? Pick one of those numbers. 49 works just fine, and then we just ask what's the remainder of 49 when we divide by 15. And that would immediately give us a 4. So we don't have to do any of this weird, 60k plus 49 is equal to n or anything like that. The question, the n they gave us is vague enough that it could have been any one of a bunch of numbers. Just pick one and try it out. And if you're unconvinced that that remainder is the sole answer, try another one. 49 plus 60, 109. That also leaves a remainder of 49 when we divide by 60. So why don't we divide that by 15 and see what the remainder is? So that's a perfectly good way to do this. So that's sort of 3 methods you could use to solve this question. So we just find the remainder of 49 when we divide it by 15. So that also gives us an answer of C. Okay, so that's 3 different ways. Could have realized that the 60 doesn't matter, and that we just need to figure the remainder of 49. We could have done all this extra work with the definition of dividing by something and leaving a remainder. Or we could have said, well, the question's so vague, we can just pick an example of a number that fits the criteria for n, so it leaves a remainder of 49 when we divide by 60, and work with that number. So any 3 of those techniques will work. And that does it for question 10 on the 2001 Fermat contest. And we're going to be moving on to part B in the next video with question number 11. So hopefully you guys will join me then, and I'll see you in that video.